Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the champ here, bringing you deck profile, speed duel deck profile. That is. Uh, yeah, I know I don't normally do these, but I figure what the hell, everybody else is doing them, so why not? But this isn't only a speed duel deck profile. This is also an update for you guys regarding what's going on next week for the channel. So without further ado, this is my Rex Raptor speed duel deck profile. It's the budget well, pretty much is a budget version because most cards you can get for pretty cheap no matter, like, regardless. There's only like one or two hollows in here, and even those are from the deck box. So yeah, if you want to pick it up, it's the Rex and Weevil Speed Duel deck box. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. So kicking things off, you have what I feel is probably the best card in the, well, maybe not the best card, but certainly one of the best cards to put in the deck. You have 3 copies of Gilasaurus. You want to see this as often as you can, trust me, because you can special summon it right away. The only downside is if it's after like the first couple of turns, your opponent's going to be able to special summon something from their graveyard, and that's not exactly the best thing. But I mean, hey, it could be worse, right? And like I said, you can get it out pretty easily. All you got to do is you can just special summon it, and yeah, it's a good card to have. Moving on, we have 2 copies of Hyper Hammerhead. This is a good card too because when you at the end of the damage step, it says if an opponent's monster is battled, this card is not destroyed. Return that opponent's monster to the hand. Now, I'm not sure what the ruling is on this one. I think, again, I could be wrong here, but I think what if it attacks like a higher level monster, even though it gets destroyed, I think it still returns that opponent's monster to the hand. I could be wrong though. I'm not entirely sure. Like if that monster's in attack mode, I'm not entirely sure though. So don't take my word for it. But either way, it's still a pretty good card to put in there. You have 2 copies of Black Stego. This is obviously your defender. When you summon it, if it's attacked, it'll go straight into defense mode, so you won't take any damage, and also it'll probably be able to withstand the attack. So it's a good card to put in there. I just put 2 copies in because I don't want to see it all the time. But in any case, moving on, we have the only non-dino in the deck. You got 3 copies of Gale Lizard. It's a really good card. You put it face down, your opponent attacks into it, flip it face up, send their card back to the hand. Don't matter what that card is. It's a really good card, and I easily recommend the 3 of. Alright. Now for the rest of the low level monsters, we have 2 copies of Crawling Dragon number 2 and 2 copies of Twin-Headed King, or Two-Headed King Rex, I should say, not Twin-Headed King Rex. You'll see why I put these in the deck momentarily, but yeah, they're like the strongest dinos out there right now in the deck. Are the strongest non-normal or strongest normal dinos. Sorry guys, I just woke up. And yeah, it's like I said, you'll see why I play them in a second. But I don't want to put 3 in there, so I just put 2. But you guys, if you want to play this deck, you put 3 in. Doesn't really make a difference. Fucking noisy ass neighbors. Okay, so high level monsters, we have 2 copies of Super Ancient Dino Beast. It's a powerful card, 2700 attack. Even though it's 8 stars, its special effect is you can summon this card in face-up attack position by tributing only 1 dinosaur monster. And when a dinosaur monster is special summoned from your graveyard, while this monster is on the field, except during damage step, you can draw a card. So it's pretty cool. Gets you a +1. You can special summon. And yeah, like I said, you can summon it by only using 1 dino, so that's pretty darn good. You don't have to waste too many resources to bring it out. We have 2 copies of Dark Triceratops, 6-star dinosaur effect monster. If it battles a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage, which means even if your opponent's monster is in defense mode, you still do battle damage, essentially, if you didn't know. Yeah, it's a decent card to put in there. It's 6-star. You can bring it out easily with one of the spell cards I'm going to reveal to you in a few minutes. And if you have Gilasaurus, again, you don't even need the spell card. You just bring it out right away because, like I said, you can special summon Gilasaurus, and bam, there you go. You got a 2400 beat stick. Does piercing. Can't go wrong there. And last but not least, for the monster lineup, we have the PA still at no resistance. 2 copies of Black Tyranno. If the only cards in your opponent controls are defense position monsters, card can attack directly. 8-star, 2600. It's a little bit, actually no, sorry, 7-star. It's only slightly bit weaker than Super Ancient Dino Beast, but it's still a pretty big beat stick. And if you use the skill Dinosaur Kingdom Field spell, which I have here, I forgot to mention that earlier, by the way, all your dinos get a 300-point attack and defense boost. So, I mean, that's pretty solid. You're looking at 2,900, and you can attack your opponent's monsters, or you can attack your opponent's life points directly. I mean, you can't go wrong. So that's it for the monster lineup. For the spell lineup, it's mostly one-ofs. We got, as I mentioned earlier, this is the card I was talking about, Cost Down. All you gotta do is discard 1 card, and any monster you have in your hand is summonable almost right away. Dark Triceratops you can summon without tributing. You can summon Black Tyranno with only 1 tribute. It's pretty darn good. We have Heat Wave. At the start of your main phase 1, neither player can normal or special summon effect monsters until your next draw phase. You're dealing with an opponent that has a lot of effect monsters. You slap this down. As long as you have a monster yourself, like Kong Dragon number 2 or Two-Headed King Rex or any other normal monsters, hey man, you can pretty much control the board. Your opponent can't really do anything unless they have some back row to help stop you until next turn. But if they don't, man, hey, enjoy it. Alright, I added 1 copy. This is my personal preference. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I added 1 copy of the Quick Spell Raise Body Heat just for an extra little bit of an attack boost. 300 to be exact. I have 1 copy of White Elephant's Gift to sacrifice any of my normal monsters. Get an extra +1, or actually not even +1, sorry. But you still get 2 cards draws, so it's not that bad if you're looking for a certain card. And you can spare the monster. That's why I only run 1 copy. Here we have Card Advance, 1 copy. Basically, it lets you look at the top 5 cards of your deck and rearrange them in any order. This card actually works better with the other skill, which is Nightmare Sonic Blast. I'm not running that particular kind of deck, which is why I only have the 1 copy of this card so I can see what's coming up and prepare for it. But yeah, you don't have to run this either. It's just my personal preference, like I said. And finally, the only holo I have in the deck, 1 copy of Order to Charge. This is a great card for normal monsters. Basically, what it does is it allows you to basically run over anything. Well, not run over anything, but you tribute your monster, your non-effect monster, and then pop any one of your opponent's monsters on the board. Doesn't matter what it is. Blue Eyes, gone. Dark Magician, gone. Anything. It's so cool, man. But I only run the 1 copy because I only have so many normal monsters, and I don't want to like draw any dead cards, you know. So that's why I only run the 1 copy. If you want to run more, be my guest. And then finally, for a trap lineup, we have only 4 trap cards. You have 2 copies of Reinforcements, which like it's just extra attack power. If you set them face down and wait for your opponent to try and swing into you, one of your weaker monsters just activate Reinforcements, and you're pretty much good because it's a 500 attack point boost. You're almost well, not guaranteed, but you got a pretty good chance of running over whatever's trying to run over you. And last but not least, 2 copies of Hunting Instinct. It's just easier to get out your high level monsters that way if you don't have, say, Cost Down in your hand, if you don't Gillosaurus or anything. Hunting Instinct is when a opponent's monster is special summoned. It allows you to special summon 1 Dino from your hand. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's my deck profile. Hope you enjoyed it. And last but not least, I just wanted to let you guys know. Sorry. Uh, what's gonna happen is this is an update for next week. I'm going to the X, the CNE on Monday. It's finally here. And I'm going to be doing a number of vlogs. I want to say 5. I know that sounds like a lot, but honestly, it might only be 3. I'm not entirely sure on that. So, what the plan is I'm going to film all on the Monday, and then I'm going to release them throughout the week, 1 per day. So, you might see 5, you might see 3, I don't know. But you'll definitely see at least 3. I'm guaranteeing you that. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week. Peace out.